And that line was just like, oh, that one got me.
I love it. I know. I love hearing which parts are like people's favorite.
Carly Pearce, thank you so much for being here. This is so exciting for me personally because I have to tell you, we've almost met a couple times, but it never quite worked out. So I'm so happy to have you here.
Oh, I'm so happy I feel like this is like the 2020 version of meeting.
I know, right? The FaceTime interviews. I had to tell you, so I normally live in New York, but I've been down in Georgia for just a little bit. But one of the last concerts I went to in New York was seeing you and Brett Young at the Opry in New York City in Times Square.
Oh my gosh, no way.
Which was such a fun show. And as I was preparing for this, I was like bringing back those memories. And I was like, I miss live music and live country music especially so much.
It is so hard. I always say that what we do for a living is not a career, it's a lifestyle. So to not have that piece of just your lifestyle, which is to me the biggest piece and kind of why we do it for fans and for that moment, it's so hard. I miss it so much.
When things open back up again and start getting back to normal, where are you most looking forward to playing again?
Anywhere, truly. I mean, I will play anything at this point. I am just excited to be able to play music for people that are right here.
Right. Now, on the opposite of that, is there a concert that you're really looking forward to going to? Is there someone's album that you're dying to hear live?
Oh my gosh. I am huge right now into the 1975, which is so not what anybody would think I would be into. But I really want to see them live. So I would pay money to go watch them live.
Oh man, wow. I know, I can't wait for that too. And now you have new music coming out, and specifically, I want to talk about Next Girl because it truly is the breakup anthem we didn't even know that we needed.
So much has happened in the last year for me. Probably the biggest thing musically is that my producer Busby passed away, and he passed away from brain cancer tragically, and it kind of sent me on this quest. He was kind of like family to me, and certainly from a musical standpoint, I did not know what music looked like without him. And so I had to make a decision. Do I continue on with an album without him that we just put out, or do I try to just see what happens and kind of close that chapter? And I felt like what he did with I Hope You're Happy Now was he gave a record that really showed every aspect of why I moved to Nashville and the artist that I wanted to be, which was very like the ladies in the 90s. And I felt like I Hope You're Happy Now had that vibe. And when I was listening back to the record, I just didn't feel like we had the right follow-up to really make sure that that's who people saw me as in the format. I want to sing country music. I love everything that's going on in country music, but I want to be the flagship female country purist. And I started listening back to all of my records from that era of music, and it was Patty Loveless and Faith and Trisha and the Judds and Martina and Sarah Evans and all these ladies that influenced me and made me want to make music. And I had a few writes with Shane McAnally and Josh Osborne that literally, unlike Busby, they love female 90s country. And it just felt like this moment of, oh my gosh, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. This is exactly what's supposed to happen. And so we've been working on a lot of music, and Next Girl was the second song that we ever wrote on Zoom. And to me, it was Blame It On Your Heart, Patty Loveless in 2020.
Ooh, that's such a good comparison. And I love that you brought up Shane because I'm such a big Songland fan. It's such an interesting show to me. And is that kind of what your songwriting sessions look like when you do it over Zoom? Does it still kind of have those same vibes that you see?
Totally. I think he does a really good job of capturing kind of the essence of what goes down in a writer room. And there's probably more joking going on when you write with Shane than maybe he shows on Songland, even though he does show some. But it's definitely that kind of a vibe. And I think it's so awesome that he is... it all begins with the songwriting, and so it's cool to be able to watch a show completely about the crafting of a song, because none of us would be here if we didn't have the songs.
Right. And Next Girl too has some powerful lyrics. Specifically, The one that hit me was he'll hide the red flags for a little while. Because I think, I mean, especially as a woman, I feel like we've all felt that, or we felt that with our friends, or we felt that in our relationships. And that line was just like, oh, that one got me.
I love it. I know. I love hearing which parts are like people's favorite. Yeah, I think when you're in that initial phase of lust, is what I call it, that you think it's love, you overlook things. You probably see little things, but it's not like enough. And I think that this particular guy is so good at playing the role that all of us ladies want him to be. But you can only fake it for so long. And the truth comes out.
It does. What advice would you give to someone who's maybe in a situation like that, currently listening to that song, being like, that's me?
Be I've had quite a few girls send me messages saying, like, this is what I'm living, and my advice to you is anyone, and I kind of wanted to be a big sister in this song, even though I feel like it can speak to anybody of any age, but I just really wanted people to understand, if somebody really loves you, they're not going to treat you like this, and you're not going to feel like this, and you're not going to feel bad, and you're not going to make like excuses for this person, and just know your worth. That's been my biggest thing with this, and that's why it is a heavy lyric, but it feels so good, because I wanted girls and guys, whoever, to just feel empowered when they heard it and go, I'm not alone, and I can get out of this. I don't need this.
And now, is this the kind of music, are we going to hear more of these stories in new music coming out?
For sure, and I think sonically this is what you're going to hear. I mean, this is just the beginning of, I'm going pretty country, and it's the music that I always wanted to make. It's melodically, just the way I'm singing feels more Kentucky than ever to me, and I've never shied away from just writing songs that mean something to me, and just really digging into that. And I feel like it's coming from such a different perspective, having Shane and Josh alongside instead of Busby.
Do you think Busby would be proud of the music that you're putting out? What do you think he'd think of the songs now?
He and I've said this before, but he knew, and I think we all do, but I think because I spent 8 years here being told no, I struggled with a lot of self-confidence, and he's kind of walked through that whole journey with me, and just really owning me and not trying to change for anybody. And I think that something he always said to me was, no matter, and I saw him right before he passed away. I went out, I flew out to say goodbye, and he just told me, remember to fly. And I haven't forgotten that, and I feel him so strongly. We all do. It was a very emotional day in the studio, even for Shane and for Josh, because they were friends with him. That's how I met them. And it just feels almost like he had a hand in kind of sending me into this next phase. And he knew how much I loved country music, so I think he would feel like I'm flying.
Wow. I mean, that's emotional, but that's so powerful. And it's interesting to hear you talk about your story, and I remember you sharing some of those moments at your live show. Does it, now because of your background, because it took a couple years to really get on your feet and have all the success that you do now, does it make even more pressure when you're releasing new music? Like, do you still sort of revert back to those days sometimes, even though you are in such you have such a great spot right now?
Yes, because I think the minute that you forget where you've come from, you lose it. And for me, I want to constantly push myself. When every little thing came out, I was like, okay, this is the bar of the kind of song that I need to make. And then to watch what happened with I Hope You're Happy Now, and then go, okay, well that is, I learn with every single and every moment how to get better. And I feel like if you stop pushing yourself, if you would ask Reba, or you would ask Dolly, or some of these women that are the just superstars of our genre, they would tell you they continue to reinvent themselves. They continue to keep trying to be better. And I think that's what I was trying to do 10 years ago when I moved to town. I was just trying to get better and trying to make it work. And now I'm just like trying to get to the next level, trying to keep my craft going, trying to be authentic, trying to keep just pushing myself to be better.
And have you found, like, in this time in quarantine, has this been really good for you creatively, or do you like being more out in the open, working with people in person? Because I feel like a lot of artists I've talked to, they give me mixed reviews. Some of them love the solitude of it. and others are like, no, I gotta get out.
I miss writing in person.
Okay.
I've gotten to do it a few times. Just from the musical standpoint of it, it's so hard with Zoom to feel that real energy from the music and feeling it all together and singing together and all of those things. But I have found it very beneficial to not have any other distractions. As an artist, you're being pulled, and if you're home for a day, you may be writing, but you have to do laundry and you have to run to this place and do this, and then you have to jump on your bus at night, or you have writers out that come out, and yeah, you can write for a few hours before you have to do a meet and greet or do radio or do whatever. So having this time to completely go, this is all you can control, which is the music that you're writing. So make sure that you take advantage of it.
Right.
None of us are ever going to get this kind of time again. I think that amazing music is going to come out of it.
When you are in those busy times, like hearing you say that schedule stressed me out. How do you stay mentally sound? Like, how do you go through it? How do you prepare for your day? And how does that work for you?
I try to not truly look ahead past, I look like each day at the details, but I'll only look a week in advance. And my tour manager, his name's Mike, and he is also my drummer, and he's also been my friend of 10 years.
Aww.
And we've traveled together so much, and he just knows me so well, so I kind of more feel like he knows how to bring things to me, and he knows how many things I can take on. I actually am really good at multitasking, so it's not really, I thrive when I'm busy, but he knows how to present a day to me, I guess, is how I rely. I don't know what I would do without Mike.
That's so important. It's like, I feel like behind every successful person is a killer team. Like, you have to really trust the people that you work with.
You do. You absolutely do. And I think your tour manager, especially as a female, is like one of the most important things, because they're kind of looking after you and looking after everything that goes on out on the road, and they're kind of the face of you before that person, the promoter, or the venue, or anybody meets you. So he's a big role.
Wow. Go Mike. Honestly, I love his little shout out in here. Carly, we're so excited for you. Next Girl out now. Can we expect more music from you in 2020? What else can we look forward to?
I feel like a lot of people have asked me that, like, are you putting out another album? I have a really great record label and management team that has just kind of, I went to them and said, I feel really inspired and I just want to roll. Can you guys just let me do that for a minute? And we've cut, I guess, 4 things right at the moment. I definitely feel like it's a whole album. I've had a lot going on, so I have a lot to say, and I feel very inspired, and I feel very inspired with Shane and Josh. I don't know. I'm sure that there will be more music coming out, but I'm definitely working on like a full project.
Of those songs you just mentioned, the 4 that you cut, is there one that you're like really sticks out to you that you're really, really proud of?
I wrote a song, and it's kind of, I guess I sang it on the Grand Ole Opry when I did the live stream. It's called Show Me Around, and it was written for Busby. And I had the idea at his funeral. Barry Dean, who's an amazing songwriter in Nashville, he gave a beautiful speech at Busby's funeral and out in California, and he has 3 little girls all under the age of 10 and a beautiful wife. And he said that Busby was viewing, he spoke of heaven as Disneyland, and that Busby was getting a feel for the place, picking out all of the perfect spots to show his girls when they got there.
Damn, that's making me emotional.
In my, and I knew that he'd be fine with it, even though it was his funeral. I wrote in my phone, I was like, show me around. And I knew that I wanted to write that. And fans have really latched onto that, because we all go through grief and we all lose people. And so I'm really excited. That's a very special track.
Oh, wow. Carly, thank you so much. This has been so great talking with you. So excited to hear the new music, and so excited about Next Girl too. You know that's my jam.